Hi, we're going to start by creating a process builder, and we're actually going to create the process. So go to trailhead.salesforce.com, and then you will see Quick Start Process Builder. Underneath Quick Start Process Builder, you will see create a new process on account object, add process criteria, add your process action, and test your process. We're going to work through all 4 of these during this short demonstration. So right now I'm going to connect into create a new process in the account, which is where I am right now. So because I've gone through this assessment, I'm going to connect it again. So here are the directions here. There are 9 steps in order to do this. The reason why we're doing this, our goal is to update a business address. There is no need to create any special coding. We're simply going to automate this business process. So I'm going to retake this step in my case, and I'm going to launch it as you would into your playground. We do this quite frequently, and so you know where to go. Here, we're going to connect underneath the cog and connect with Setup. Under Setup, we're going to see on this side here the opportunity to connect into and type in the word Builder. And underneath Builder, you'll see Process Builder underneath the Automation tab. And so we will click Process Builder. On Process Builder, you'll come away with this screen here. When you have an opportunity, it will be really good for you to review these 4 Learn More tabs or 3 Learn More tabs on the left side of the screen. But for the sake of this particular exercise, we're going to connect New here. Underneath New, the goal is for us to develop this process. So we're going to type in contact address change. So contact address change. We'll hit enter, and we'll move here, and you'll see that it also connects as an API address. There's no need to put a description at this point. However, underneath the process starts when, we're going to select the process starts when a record changes. And click Save. Now this takes us to our screen. Remember when we talked on Monday, we talked about this being pretty much our workspace. So we're going to go here at the beginning of it, underneath the Add Object tab. And if you could just try to connect anywhere, you won't see it highlighted, but you'll see the Add Object tab highlights, and you'll actually see another drop-down box a little bit above it. So connect Add Object. Underneath Add Object in the window, you're going to do a drop-down menu under this area, and you're going to be looking for Account. That's where we're going to be put this idea of this particular function. So we're going to click Account. Now here it actually asks you start the process only when a record is created, or start a process when a record is created and edited. We're going to connect when a record is created or edited. And here, we're not going to do anything under Advanced. However, you feel free to play with it, but we're not going to do this. So I'm going to put that back and hit Save. Now you've started the process underneath where accounts are. So at this point, you're going to go back into your Trailhead, and you're going to verify your particular step to see if you were able to verify that you completed the step effectively. And while you're waiting for that, our goal is to go to the next section and do the same exact thing. So right now, because I've completed the whole area, it's already giving me my badge, but I'm going to connect out of this and go to the second piece. So now I'm going to go to Add Process Criteria. And under Add Process Criteria, your goal is going to be to develop a way to do the next 7 steps, which determines when this process will actually run. So now we've already developed the account. We're now going to the Add Criteria. And so our goal is to do this section, complete this part of it. So we just finished this one. Now we're going to the second one. So let me go here. I'm going to retake this step and relaunch it as a playground. And you'll complete the same steps. Now here, if I actually just kept mine going, but I'm going to do something here to see if you keep restarting it, will it pick up at the same point that I left off. So here I'm going to go back into Builder, Process Builder, And I'm going to go to contact address change, because now I've already had it created. So all I'm doing now is going to add criteria. Under add criteria, I'm going to put address change. So underneath address change, now we're going to do, have to click with step 3, criteria for executing actions. Will be, I'm going to do this when certain conditions are met. So you have 3 different areas, but we're going to do when conditions are met. And so we'll keep that already checked. The next one helps to basically set a filter. So our goal here is to do just this. We're going to find a field, and it's already selected for us. And here, this operation part of it is going to be when is changed. So we're going to click into the drop-down menu. I apologize. Let me go back a step. So here underneath accounts, we're going to find billing street. And doing so will allow us to be able to go to the next level. So let's find billing street. So we're going to connect billing street, and you will see billing street is listed here underneath an API billing street. And now we'll connect with choose. So now we've actually found our field to be billing street, and we select chose. And then the next operation is when we're going to do this. So there are certain conditions that require us to do this, and said basically we're going to set this operation when things are met. So our goal is for conditions, we're going to keep all conditions are met and. So all of the conditions are met and is what we're doing, instead of any of the conditions are met or. So now we've completed this by selecting the billing street. We kept it at equals to, and then we kept the string. We didn't do anything with the value section here. Actually, I apologize, we do have to go here and do values. So values here would be the word true. So this is how we are setting up with this one to maintain. Let me take a look at everything now. So I've got my field address here set for the billing street. I have, and I click select chose. My operation needs to be changed here. So I need to go back to this one is change. And here is what I need to do. So now you have field names, billing street. Operator is change, and you keep this to be the same Boolean word. And your value here is actually true. So here, this is how we're going to do this. So be sure to do this version of it here. This is on live on the fly, so we're going to make sure that you connect and use this particular format. So now all conditions are met, and we will try to see if we can launch it and test it. So we'll hit save. And by hitting save, we've made changes in this portion here of when the address changes. So what I would like for you to do now is to go back into your playground, and we remember in the second version, add process criteria, and I want you to verify that you have completed that step. Once you verify you completed that step, our next goal would be to add a process action to it. So we're going to keep moving down to the third section. So the third section is add your process action. Now adding your process action are a few more steps, but what it allows us to do now is to go to address change and take care of when this happens. And so at this point, you've defined a process, you've told it when to fire, but you haven't told it what to do. So this is a step we'll actually define the process of what happens when billing street address changes. So this is how we'll actually go into this. So the same operations we've been doing, we'll do that. So I'm going to retake this step here, and I'm going to launch my playground. And here you should see immediate action box. Well, actually we have to go into same process, go to setup here, and click setup. Now there is a shortcut to doing so. You can just simply keep going back to the same area that you were in to keep it started over. But for the sake of this training, I'm going to make sure I just do the step-by-step instructions. And then if you find your shortcut, great. So right now I'm shortcutting and just putting in process builder here. I'm going to go back to where I was, and my goal here is to click contact address change where we were, and we're going to go here in terms of adding action. In the action button, we're going to look for the drop down menu here, and we're going to select our action that we're going to do. So our action here is to update our records. For the action type, once it connects into it, it'll actually give you an opportunity to have the connection type. So let's see how we do with this. And remember, I've already completed this, so hopefully it'll do for me here. So update records. And yes, so action type, action name here would be update contact address. So this is what we're going to put here. So underneath your action name will be update contact addresses with an S. And then on your record type, which is basically a radio button, we're going to search for select a record related to the account. So we're going to scroll down and look for accounts. So we're going to say select a record related to accounts. Hold on one second. We'll actually select a record related to accounts. So we'll actually connect that one. And then once we click that one, you'll actually find accounts underneath this particular drop-down menu. And so you're actually looking for now the word contacts. So we found contacts. So contacts, you probably remember seeing this icon a few moments ago. So we're actually going to choose it now. So we're trying to say what kind of record are we trying to update? We're trying to update our contacts. And you remember that from your standard objects. So now we get this other information that asks us all these other questions. So the criteria for adjusting it, we've already looked at that. So for now, we're going to go to criteria for updating records. So the next one is that we're going to keep it set at no criteria, just update the records with the exclamation mark. In the next area, it's going to ask us to set up a field or find a field. So underneath set up a new field, we're going to drop down menu and we're going to look for mailing street. Mailing street. Underneath the mailing street, we're going to go to field reference, which will actually be underneath your type. And then your value would be select billing address. Billing street, I'm sorry. So we'll find billing street. And then we'll choose. And then we've actually changed it all here. And we're saving it. And now we've updated that same information here. Let's go back to the process. And we're going to make sure we're in the right one. Yes, add a process action. And we're going to verify that we have received our 25 points. And while you're waiting, we're going to pause the video after this section and we'll complete the last step, which is pretty extensive as well, in just a few moments. So now we've created the first 3 steps in the process, and the 4th step we will finalize in our next video.